let's get into the New Orleans Saints. They finished second in the division. But before we get into that, if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so we can send you a message every time Tyler and I post new content. So with that being said, let's get into the New Orleans Saints. They had an interesting 2022. This was their first full season without Sean Payton, right?
Yes.
And I want to say they did a good job. They, again, came in second in the division, and I don't know. They just never really gained any traction. Jameis Winston got hurt. And then, who was the gadget guy?
Chris Olave that you're talking about?
No. The quarterback from
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, that's what it was. Taysom Hill also got hurt. Andy Dalton came in, and then they kind of hit a stride with him. Chris Olave had a fantastic rookie season as at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So they have some good pieces here, but they just kind of lack the presence of Saints past, where they're just not quite that dominant team.
Yeah, and it definitely did just feel off. Even once Andy Dalton took over, who he did a fine job of what he did everything that they asked him to do, just be a game manager and everything, and especially kind of considering how weak their offensive line was, and Michael Thomas was hurt again as normal. I think that they're just going to just part ways one way or the other. But there are some things that they can build on, like getting Chris Olave, which a lot of people question, even ourselves, how they got about him and how much they spent for him. And I think that pick is going to – so you have your bona fide number one. But other than that, though, there's definitely a lot of other question marks, especially on that offensive side of the ball. Who's going to be their quarterback next year? Because I don't think Jameis Winston is really the guy. Andy Dalton is not the guy anymore. He was just a stopgap guy there. Yeah. And they have so much – they're so much in the red. Their cap space, negative $55 million. They can definitely restructure some deals. I see Marshawn Lattimore and Cameron Jordan. So you restructure there, that's $20 million. I think Taysom Hill. They somehow have to get rid of Taysom Hill because let's just all appreciate how great of a contract Taysom Hill got.
Oh yeah, it was 4 years.
It was 4 years, $100 million or something like that. Let me look this up exactly. But what has he done for them?
I mean, he's a great gadget player, but you don't pay gadget players $25 million a year.
No.
Maybe 4 years, $12 million, I think is more reasonable. And sorry, Saints fans, if you don't like to hear that, but Taysom Hill is not going to win games for you.
Sorry, I don't know where I got $100 million from, but
I think it was 4 years, $63 million or something.
No, 4 year, $40 million.
4 years, $40 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
When all those zeros get together, sometimes they can add up. Still, that's a lot for him, and he hasn't done anything. He was not nearly worth it. Everything he did, you could have paid some guy the league minimum for. And he is a super athletic guy, but just that. I mean, it's just they paid him a lot of money for doing very little. They could have gone elsewhere. They could have gone to another receiver, offensive line or something like that. And I think they need to somehow clear up this cap space. And there's going to be a lot of people, I think, that go or get traded or get cut that I think will just be dead weight. And that's why I think the Saints, this will be a full rebuild year for them. I say that, though, but I feel like it's been like that for a couple of years now. And I guess now with Drew Brees gone and with Sean Payton gone, this was the first year to be okay, let's see what they have. And it's not much. It's not much. I think they're going to have to just keep getting rid of all these contracts, essentially. It might be over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Offensively, they were 21st in points scored, which is not good. And defensively, they were actually pretty good, giving up 20.3 points a game, which I believe is in the top 10. They were ninth. So defensively, they were actually pretty good. like you said, they will have to restructure Marshawn Lattimore and Cam Jordan just to save that extra money on cap space. However, all that's going to do is really push more money further down the road for them and just kind of elongate this problem. However, cap space is a year by year basis, and you need to get under the cap for 2023. So
well, and one thing too, I think that they'll get under the cap here, and I think it's just he is getting up there in age, and also this position as well is not nearly as valued. But I would not be surprised if they trade Alvin Kamara. If they do trade him with the post June 1st deadline or clarification, it'll be nearly $11 million in cap. If they cut him before then, it will be just shy of $10 million clearing up in caps. That right there, they do those three things. Now they're down to negative $25 million. Those are the big. Those are the big major ones.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of other things that they can do. So with a lot of other restructuring as well. And I think moving off from Alvin Kamara, I think he wants out of there. I think a lot of these veteran guys who want to go win a Super Bowl. Well, that's actually a good point too. I totally forgot about because Alvin Kamara's right now.
Yeah, he's having a lot of off the field issues for beating a man nearly to death in an elevator. So I just think they're in a very bad predicament. They have so much dead cap that they haven't been able to go out and sign any free agents in the past few years. They're very much lacking on in the draft capital market. I want to say they traded their first round pick this year to the Eagles for 2 first round picks last year.
Essentially.
Yeah. And so now I want to say they only have like 5 or 6 picks this year.
Well, so they do still have a first round pick with the Sean Payton Denver Broncos trade.
Yeah.
They'll be picking 29th. So I think that's the one. It was San Francisco, then it was Miami's, then it was Denver, and then now it's New Orleans. Now, I might be missing a team in there also.
No, it was San Francisco to Miami to Denver to New Orleans. So that was good. That was good. So they have a first, a second, a third, and a fourth, 2 fifths, and 2 sevenths for a total of what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8 total picks. So that's actually better than what I thought. However, I want to say one of those is a compensatory, and they literally just got the other one like a week and a half ago. So it's going to be a really interesting offseason for them. I don't think they will be competitive in 2023, but if they can hit on a couple draft picks and maybe get out of this cap space hell that they've been in for 4 or 5 years now, then I think they could really strike in this division, who outside of the Falcons, I think is very weak.
Well, and that's the thing. Like the Falcons, when we talked about them in their recap, and then also kind of preview of the 2023 offseason, is they have so much more maneuverability. They can go pay for really good players, and they have that extra leverage. The Saints, besides league minimum guys coming in, or obviously the rookies, I don't see who's going to come in and contribute. Even at the quarterback position, like they can't afford Derek Carr. I guess you can roll with Jameis Winston. Maybe you can pay Andy Dalton. Like, I don't think he'll take any less. Maybe Baker Mayfield. I kind of guess it kind of all depends on where he goes. But that's just that, though, and that's the quarterback position. Yeah. And so, maybe you draft Tanner McKee and kind of do something that the Texans did and like get this young rookie quarterback and just throw him in there and see if he pans out. Like, screw it, just kind of ordeal. It'd be like that'll just that position handled. All right, like he's going to suck probably. So it's like he's going to have rookie growing pains. So there's it's whatever, but we need to address the rest of the team also.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think that's going to wrap up the Saints. I think they have a positive outlook for the future because they have drafted well. They can get out of cap space hell by restructuring a few of these deals.
Mm-hmm.